So, the big news in the photography world. Dua Lipa and Callum Turner, who I never thought I would ever speak about, had posted their wedding photos this past weekend. So anytime these celebrity photos come out, it's always the question of who photographed them and how is it that that photographer even gets that job in the first place. So that's more what I want to discuss in today's video, is how is it that that top 5% of wedding photographers get into those positions in the first place. So the very first part that I'm sure you are dying to know, who took the photos? Well, the ones that you've seen posted online, if you haven't been living under a rock, were shot by a guy named David Sims. He's a fashion photographer based out of London. He's done a lot of work with Vogue and Chanel, and of course, Dua Lipa. Now my guess is the photos that were posted online are posed photos that he did specifically for release. I've seen some video that shows multiple different photographers and videographers who were doing the actual day of events. Now I myself really don't care about the celebrities, but it did always intrigue me how people got those gigs in the first place. These are high paying gigs. We're talking $20,000 to $50,000. The most recent one that raised a lot of eyebrows was the Selena Gomez wedding, which that wedding was shot by the amazing Sam Blake. And if you ever look over her portfolio, she has shot many celebrity weddings throughout the years, and for a good reason. She's a fantastic photographer who has a very unique style to her. Now, just about any photographer could honestly do what it is she does. So why is it that somebody like Sam Blake gets into the position that they get into to shoot photos for some of the world's largest celebrities? Now, this is one of the only times in my life I can honestly say it all comes down to who you know. Now, these photographers didn't luck into their positions. They'd worked in the field for a very long time, and they garnered relationships throughout their time, which eventually led into positions that they are in right now. Be it that maybe they worked as an assistant with fashion photographers, or they worked as a lighting assistant for another luxury photographer. Somewhere along the line, they were able to build those connections and build that trust to be referred by large wedding planners, managers, agents, you name it. Now, most of these luxury wedding photographers are represented by an agent. You don't have the Dua Lipas and Selena Gomez's reaching out to these photographers themselves. Their management team reaches out to an agent who is representing said photographer. One of the reasons that these celebrities will stick with this select group of photographers is because they have built trust within that inner circle. They are able to keep their mouths shut. They've already shown that they can hold their composure when shooting large groups of internationally known people. Now, the wedding photos themselves, no idea if anyone will ever know who actually photographed those, because there are a lot of celebrities that require the photographer to sign non-disclosure agreements, which is then not allowing them to use those images for any type of promotional, and they're not allowed to claim the rights to those photos. They have signed away those rights. But that's also another reason why it is that they demand the amount of money that they do. Luxury photographers usually start around $15,000 and go up from there. I can't imagine how much it costs to have a photographer from, say, New York fly to Sicily, shoot a wedding, and then is signing away the rights to those photos. I'm sure you're looking more north of $50,000 for something like that, which I think the majority of us would be okay doing. Now, it is not impossible to become that level of a wedding photographer. It does take a lot of years of dedication, a lot of years of building relationships. And it does come down to maybe just a little bit of luck. Being in the right room at the right time with the right people. For all you know, you're gonna shoot a wedding this next weekend that happens to have somebody who is maybe working in that field, maybe works with certain agents, maybe is an agent. It can be something as simple as that that can bring you into that next level of luxury photography. And I say luxury photography because the only reason that it seems to be luxury is that you are one of those select ones that are chosen to photograph those weddings. But don't ever look at those photos and think, I wish I was at that level. I've never seen any celebrity wedding photos that I thought, man, those are just unbelievable photos. These ones that recently came out, they're good, yes. I'd expect that from someone like David Sims. But it wasn't anything that was just absolutely blowing my mind or groundbreaking. I'm sure it's exactly what it is that those two wanted. And he delivered what it is that they wanted. But that doesn't make him any better of a photographer than 80% of the photographers in this community. It's just that he has worked very long and built a lot of relationships over the years that puts him into a position like that. Now, if you never get into a position like that yourself, don't ever beat yourself up. As long as you're making a living, having a good time, and delivering awesome photos, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.